Today I'm going to be talking about jobs for February, and I love hostas, and we like to grow them in our own garden, but also for selling to people that come around the garden for the National Garden Scheme, who raise money for medical and nursing charities. Now these are baby plugs of hostas. You can see the wonderful roots that are just coming through there, and then if you can just see there, you can see a little green shoot just coming through. This variety is Majesty, which is a variety I've never grown before. Apparently it's a large size, grows to a height of about 70 centimetres. So what we need is an experiment this afternoon. We've had a visitation of moles, and they've kindly given us molehills. And look at the quality of that soil. We live on top of the Cotswolds with a limestone brash, and it's very difficult to get an ordinary fork in. I was also going to mix it with a multi-purpose compost. Unfortunately, this is a peat-based compost because at the present time I'm finding it very difficult to get a totally peat-free compost. I'm hoping to do the same experiment later on using coir. I'm also going to add some perlite here to improve the drainage and not make the soil so heavy, and to insulate it a bit so the plants don't like being cold and wet, a bit like human beings. And then finally a little bit of potting grit to again improve drainage. I'm just adding some more perlite. The main thing about perlite is not to breathe in the dust, so make sure you don't get into the wind. You can see it's a lovely bright white. Some people don't like that, but I think it's just doing it some good. And I've got the wonderful bouquet there of the Daphne Beloa Jacqueline Postel. The perfume is just making a wonderful afternoon here. So finally, I'm going to add the grit, again to add a bit of drainage. Just tip it in, and the main thing is I have to remember what the measurements were, because as I said, this is an experiment using this molehill soil for the first time. So the end result is something like that. Now the pots I'm using, the standard P9s. Basically I found that it is better not to buy the cheapest brand, because they don't last as long. You can see this one, although it's been used several years, it has begun to split, and I can't do anything with that. I've gone for the middle grade, which has got some ridges which I think strengthen it, and this is obviously a tougher one. If you're not going to be selling plants, then you may want to buy these. But I think if you're selling them for charity, it's important that you don't give a sort of yogurt pot type culture. If you could make things look smart, then you can sell them for a greater profit. Again, these are the hostas I was telling you about. Look at the wonderful roots on there, and there's the little shoot just coming up there. So basically I'm going to put it in this pot here, and then make a little hole in there and pop that in, and then around there. And then what I tend to do, I'm not sure it's the right thing to do, I just gently push it in like that, and then leave those 4 little depressions there so that the water, when you do water it, doesn't stay on the tip of the eye, the bud there. I don't know whether it works, but I've always been used to doing it that way. Now the most important thing, having potted that up, is to put a label on it. Again, you can actually cut up yogurt pots and make your own labels, but again, if it's for selling, then I tend to put proper labels on.